Doni Remba has spent over 2 decades in Chicago as an award-winning marketing and business development strategist with several Fortune 100 corporations and high technology companies. Mr. Remba is a Middle East political analyst and has been a community leader in Chicago for many, many years. His commentaries on Israel and the Middle East have appeared widely in the general press, including the Chicago Tribune, the New York Times, and the Chicago Sun-Times. Mr. Remba recently relocated from Chicago and is going to speak to us tonight about his impression of Barack Obama, having watched him up close for over a decade right in Illinois. Please welcome to the stage Doni Remba. How are you, Doni?
Thank you very much. It's great to be here tonight. I actually grew up in New Jersey, and I just crossed the Delaware River just a few minutes ago, not only as George Washington used to do, but as I used to do as a young boy when we used to spend our summers at summer camp in the Poconos of Pennsylvania. So it's great to be back. I want to bring you, thank you. I've spent the last 30 years in Chicago, so I want to bring you a little bit of insight into Senator Barack Obama, who's been my senator for the last 4 years, and my state senator for the 8 years before that. What brought me and so many people in Chicago to come to strongly support Obama are some qualities which we think are bringing together Americans from across party lines, and it's what we've seen in Chicago for the last 10 years that Obama has been in public life. The thing that most impresses so many of us in Chicago who have gotten to know him so well is a quality that or a set of qualities that he brings to the way he works with people. I'll tell you one story that I think exemplifies it better than most. Obama, when he got to the state Senate in Springfield, Illinois, saw how broken the criminal justice system was in our state. We had, it turns out, as many as 13 men on death row who had proven to be innocent after they had been convicted and were on death row waiting to be executed. That was thanks to a bunch of intrepid journalism students from Northwestern University who reopened their cases, found the evidence, brought them back to court, and got them exonerated. Not on technicalities, but on real evidence. So what that told us was that there were a lot of mistakes happening in the criminal justice system on the part of the police, on the part of the courts, and so even a Republican governor decided that the system was so broken that he imposed a moratorium on all executions in Illinois until he could be satisfied that the problems in the system would be fixed so that it would work well. Obama saw what was going on, and he came up with the idea that in Illinois, anyone who was on trial for a capital crime, a crime where they could end up punished by the death penalty, that their interrogations by the police or any confession they might make should be videotaped. Well, everyone, Republicans and Democrats, opposed his bill. The police were opposed to it because they thought it would hamstring their ability to do investigations. The Republicans opposed it because they felt it was giving new rights to criminals and coddling them. The Democrats opposed it, and the death penalty opponents opposed it because they saw how serious the problems were, and they wanted to abolish the death penalty. And they felt that this was too small a step that would get in the way of the larger goal of ending the death penalty. Well, Obama held a series of hearings every day over a period of many weeks, meeting with Republicans, Democrats, independents, every party and group that was concerned with this bill. And in the end, he was able to find a common ground that brought everyone together. He turned everyone around. In the end, the bill passed. Why? Because Republicans, Democrats, the police, the death penalty opponents all saw that it was in their best interests for a bill like this to be enacted into law. The police realized that if the interrogations were videotaped, they could no longer be suspected of abuse during interrogations or of coercion. The death penalty opponents realized that in the end, it would prevent innocent people from ending up convicted and on death row, and justice would be best served. So this was one of many times that Obama has brought together Republicans and Democrats to enact government reform, ethics reform, criminal justice reform throughout his many years in public life. I want to tell you one other story which to me sort of caps all of the history that we have had with Obama in Chicago for more than a decade. And it's the fact that the Chicago Tribune, a Republican newspaper which has never endorsed a Democratic nominee for President of the United States, has just now endorsed Senator Barack Obama. This is the first time in history that the Republican newspaper, the largest newspaper in Chicago, has made such an endorsement. And I want to share with you a few of the reasons why they came to this conclusion. And as you'll see, it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that he's from Chicago, and everything to do with the fact that they have come to the conclusion, after knowing him for the last 12 years, that he is the best man for the job. On November 4th, the Chicago Tribune says, "We're going to elect a president to lead us through a perilous time and restore in us a common sense of national purpose. The strongest candidate to do that is Senator Barack Obama. The Chicago Tribune is proud to endorse him today for President of the United States." On December 6, 2006, the Tribune encouraged Obama to join the presidential campaign. We wrote that he would celebrate our common values instead of exaggerate our differences. We said that he would raise the tone of the campaign. We said his intellectual depth would sharpen the policy debate. In the ensuing 22 months, he has done just that. Many Americans say they're uneasy about Obama. He's pretty new to them. Well, we can provide some assurance. We have known Obama since he entered politics a dozen years ago. We have watched him, worked with him, argued with him as he rose from an effective state senator to an inspiring U.S. senator to the Democratic Party's nominee for president. We have tremendous confidence in his intellectual rigor, his moral compass, and his ability to make sound, thoughtful, careful decisions. He is ready. Obama will govern as a pragmatic centrist, far more so than many people realize. We know firsthand that Obama seeks out and listens carefully and respectfully to people who disagree with him. He builds consensus. He was most effective in the Illinois legislature when he worked with Republicans on welfare reform, ethics reform, and criminal justice reform. He worked to expand the number of schools, charter schools in Illinois. That was not popular with Democratic constituencies. He took up ethics reform in the U.S. Senate, not popular with Washington politicians. And his economic policy team is peppered with advisors who support free trade. The Tribune concludes, if I can find the page. Here we are. They conclude, Obama is deeply grounded in the best aspirations of this country, and we need to return to those aspirations. He's had the character and the will to achieve great things despite the obstacles that he's faced as an unprivileged black man in the United States. He has risen with honor, grace, and civility intact. He has the intelligence to understand the grave economic and national security risks that face us, to listen to good advice, and make careful decisions. When Obama said at the 2004 Democratic Convention that we weren't a nation of red states and blue states, he spoke of the Union the way Abraham Lincoln did. It may have seemed audacious for Obama to start his campaign in Springfield, Illinois, invoking Abraham Lincoln. We think, given the opportunity to hold this nation's most powerful office, he will prove it wasn't so audacious after all. We are proud to add Barack Obama's name to Abraham Lincoln's in the list of people the Chicago Tribune has endorsed for President of the United States. And I am proud to be standing here from Chicago speaking on Obama's behalf. Thank you and good night.